Good morning, Jim. Good morning, everybody. Sawadee cup, sawadee ton chow. Sabay my cup, kamalayu. What's going on? Okay, if you don't know, I am Scott. I'm an American who's been living here in Thailand for the past 30 years. Pretty soon it'll be half my life. Another 2 years, half my life. Um, but today we're going to dive into something. I think it's a little bit different. The side of the expat that Thailand doesn't really talk about. People don't really talk about it here. And everybody hears about the cheap rent, the great food, the relaxed lifestyle. But there's another side that doesn't really get covered. And some people, they thrive here and others struggle. And I kind of want to break it down because I've been on all sides of for both sides of the coin, I guess. I've struggled in the beginning. In the beginning, it was a struggle. And then it got a little easier. And I thought, okay, I'm golden. Boom, lost my job. Things weren't so golden. My money stopped coming in that I had from my business, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? So, I had to restart. I had to go back to the U.S. I was there for about 6 months altogether, six maybe 7 months. But I had a break in between because I came back to Thailand for about a month and a half. Uh, and that's when I was like, eh. But then I started building myself up. I started saving some money. I started getting ahead. You know, it can be a bit of a roller coaster. And that's what we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk about that a little bit. But first, do me a favor, click the like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and if you'd like to send a Dear Scott letter or a consultation, you need a consultation or something like that, just email me at anamericaninbangkok.com. Everything is down in the description. You can contact me. There's ways down in the description. You can super chat. You can do all kinds of things. So that's where it is. It's all in the description. Um, but first, I want to just tell you about the weather, what's going on here. 33.56. I saw that at the end of March, the dollar is supposed to be at 36 to the baht. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but it would be nice. But I'd like it to at least be over 34. That's my own preference. I don't like 33s. I like 34, 35, 36 and up. But you take what you can, right? Um, the air quality here right now, 123, and I know my nose is tingling, so I know the air quality is pretty crappy. Anything over about 100, and I can feel it. I feel it a little bit, I just kind of can sense it. But the temperature, right now it's 28 Celsius, high of 34, low of 25. Feel like temperature is 30. If you're dealing in Fahrenheit, the temperature is 82.4, high of 93.2, low of 77, and the feel like temperature is 86. 80% humidity, which you'll feel that. And I spend more time inside now than I used to, just because it's so humid and it can get so hot. Hasn't been hot in like the last 3-4 months, but now it's starting to get really hot. And it should be cloudy through Wednesday, and then after that it'll be nice and sunny. So we'll see what happens. Whether you're thinking about moving here, or you've been here for many years, or you're just curious about what life is really like for long-term expats, just Stick around, stay here for a few minutes, and jump in the chat. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll get into it because there's a lot to talk about. The dollar will not reach that level again for a while. USA needs to reach. Well, you say that, Jim, but that's not what economists are saying. I was just reading this, I don't know, a week or so ago, and it's what's supposed to happen is right now the Thai baht is okay, but the Thai baht is supposed to weaken, and hopefully we'll get up to 36, but it's not supposed to stay that way. So that's something else to think about. I mean, how long is it going to be that? And that's something that a lot of people don't really consider when they come over here, and that is the exchange rate. Because you think about it. There was a time when I was here when I was getting, if for every $1,000 I exchanged, I got 56,000 baht. And I was like, this is sweet. But then the prices started going up. And then the dollar went down again. It went down to say 45. And the next thing you know, we're where we are now. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was, I think, 97. But it had been 25. So I'm like, it's 25. When I first started coming here, it was 25. It was pegged at 25. Boom, it was 25 all the time. And slowly but surely, it got to 56. And that was a good time. That's all I'm going to say. It was a really good time. Things were very inexpensive back then. People forget about that. And I know it's not a permanent thing, but it lasted. I don't know how long it lasted, maybe a year. And, it was fluctuating. It was 54, 52, but still. 56, I'd take that now. People were not complaining. Not at all. Anyway, okay. We're going to break this down into segments, okay? And you can agree, disagree, whatever, but I kind of think this is right. And, I was talking about this the other day, the honeymoon phase, the initial honeymoon phase. That's when you first come to Thailand and you go, wow, this place is opening my eyes up. This place is incredible. You're walking around and you're like, wow. Maybe you guys don't remember. Maybe some of you don't remember that. But I do remember walking in. Listen, I walked into a bar and I sat down. I just wanted like a soda or something. I get myself a soda and this girl walks up with a wet rag and starts patting me down. I'm like, like, hey. She's like, oh, you hot? I said, yeah. She said, oh, I take care of you. I'm like, okay. And I was like, wow, this is fantastic. And then honestly, I used to hang out in the bars a long time ago. And I came here and let's just say that I don't even know what the prices are right now. I know they're maybe 3,000, 5,000 for like a long time or something. But I was hanging out down around, lower Sukhumvit. And I remember two girls, 500 baht each. Now, this is 1995. And they were perfectly happy. And they folded my clothes. They showered me. They did the business in the bed. Everything was taken care of there. They cleaned up my room. And I was like, 500 baht each for this? I was like, I can get used to this. And I'm like, I got no headaches. It's not like having a girlfriend. Like I had a girlfriend before. And I was like, I got no headaches. I give them 500 baht. They leave. I'm like, this is fantastic. And, you know, then I went on a couple of trips. You know, I went up to Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, and I was taking trips on the longtail boat, and there was only like 4 or 5 of us in the boat. We're going on a little tour where we're going up into the Golden Triangle. And, you know, my only thoughts at that time were, this is the best place I've ever been to. And I've been to a lot of places. I mean, I've been to, you know, the Netherlands. I've been all over Europe. I've been in South America. You know, I've been to a lot of different places. I've been to Caribbean. And I just thought to myself, this is the best place I've ever been. And then, you know, I went to Chiang Mai once. And there was the bellboy. And he says to me, hey, listen, if you want, I can send a girl up. You get a massage. And, you know, he was like, whatever you want, you know. I was like, sounds good. You know, I'm thinking, okay, I'll get a nice massage. I'll relax, you know. This girl comes up. She was a Burmese girl. And she's got a half-top Oakland Raiders shirt on, little jeans. And I just looked at her and I went, for me? I thought, for me? I was like, hey, this is all right, man. Yeah, I'll take a massage from you, honey. Needless to say, that girl spent the weekend with me. And, you know, those kind of things were what kind of made me go, hey, this place is different. And that was my honeymoon. I had that honeymoon for probably maybe about 2 years, something like that, 2, maybe 3 years. Once the money started running out and they stopped paying me for my business, then I started saying, oh, well, you know, reality is starting to set in. And I'm just like, I'm going to have to take care of business here. It's not just because when I first came, the one thing that I thought, and I don't know about anybody out there, anybody else, but the first thing that I thought was, I can do anything I want. I don't have there's no pressure on me. I have no stress to get a job done or to go into work at, 8 a.m. and be on time. I had no stress. And I thought, this is the best. Not only is it the best place, but what a situation. I got plenty of money. I got money coming in. I'm thinking, oh, I got big money. Really, I didn't. But because of what you could do, I was thinking, oh, wow, this is fantastic. I got all my needs are taken care of. I don't have to worry about a thing. The money running out or running low was in the future. So that was my honeymoon period. It was like I'm running around Bangkok, running around Thailand, going places, doing things, not even really considering the money. It's small money. $15, $10. I went into a hospital with a girl who had been staying with me for a couple of days. And I was getting sick because I had been going in the bars, and I don't smoke. And so I went into the bars, and that was when the bars would be smoky. There was people smoking inside the bars. And I just remember going in, and I was like, man, I can't breathe. And so after a couple of days of doing this, I was like, man, something's wrong. I mean, I was coughing and spitting up phlegm and all this other stuff. I went in the doctor. They go, yeah, you got bronchitis. You're in bad shape. Your lungs are pretty bad. Have you been smoking? I'm like, no, I haven't been smoking. I don't smoke. Yeah, well, you've been in a place where a lot of people smoke. I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, you got to stay out of there. They put me in the hospital for 3 days for that. And my entire bill, this is at Bumrungrad, my entire bill was 15,000 baht. That was for a room for 3 nights, oxygen like almost the whole time, meals, nurse, everything. Now that would probably be like 50,000 baht for 3 nights. I mean, this is the days when you could go into a little clinic or a hospital, and you just go, oh, I don't really feel good. They would check you out. The doctor would go, you have this, you have that. You check your symptoms. He'd go, okay, I know what it is. And you go out the door and it maybe 600 baht, 800 baht. And you're like, wow. Maybe it was at that time, I don't know how much it was, but we'll say $15. And all I could think that whole time, this is like the first 2 trips, all I could think was, there's no place better than this. That was my initial thought. There is no place better than Thailand. Now, I know there are people out there that still feel this way. Maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't think so, though. But, but I need my glasses. Dale, thank you. Taking care of business. Thank you very much. Let's give him a like. Thank you, Dale. You guys have forgotten. I am supposed to go to Tokyo and to Tibet. So all this money helps because you know what? It's going to cost me a pretty penny to go to these places. So thank you very much, Dale. I appreciate it. You are one of the people who is now helping me towards my goal. I'm just like, I got to go to Japan, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I got to go to Japan. How much am I going to spend? Then I'm thinking to myself, I don't really have any winter clothes now. I'm like, I got to buy, a couple. And I'm like, that's going to be like $300-400. Buy a jacket, a nice jacket, some, maybe not that much. I don't know. Depends on if I do it on the cheap or not. Anyway, getting back to this. I was staying I stayed in the Nana Hotel before, which I was like, God, man, I got stories from that place. But, it used to be you just sleep during the day and, 9 o'clock, you'd go downstairs, go right into the bar. Then you take a chick up, then you come down. After you're done, you come down again, and then you go up again. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Appreciate that. I used to go to these places. There was a Maxim Inn, the World Inn, Nana, Dynasty. I used to go to all these places. And of course, I was always trying to get the girls to go with me for free. I wasn't begging them or anything like that, but I wouldn't say anything about the money. That was my thing. I just never said anything. And then when they got ready to leave, I knew, okay, well, I'm going to have to pay. And every once in a while, they would go, oh, no, don't worry. And I was like, wow, I'm so lucky. So I thought, honestly, when I first came here, I thought Thailand was the greatest place on earth, man. I was like, I've got to come back here. And I came here 5 or 6 times before I made the move. I think it was 6 times. 2 nights in hospital, x-rays, ultrasound medication, 14,000 baht. Yeah, that's a government hospital. So, that tells you something. Prices have gone up, believe me. Everybody says, oh, no, things are still the same. Okay, if you want to believe that, believe it. I understand some things, the price is the same. Some things, like hospitals, forget about it. The prices are not the same. God, you can't even get out of the hospital now for less than about 1,500, 2,000 baht. And that's like bare minimum. The doctor goes in, oh, yeah, you have a sore throat. Here's some, Tylenol. Would have been one what? So anyway, the honeymoon phase is something I think, I don't know. I don't know if Jim's gone through it. I don't know if Dale has gone through it. I don't know if Paul, anybody. I don't know if anybody, Jay Easy, good morning, everybody. I don't know if you guys have gone through it, but I think probably you have at some point. And this is why people keep coming back. Or at least this is why they used to keep coming back. Now, you got a lot more foreigners from other places coming to Thailand. And I think there's less of us Westerners coming over here as tourists. I don't know. I could be wrong, and I don't really know the specifics, but I do remember that back in the day. Well, I can tell you this. In 1995, there was almost 7 million tourists. And in 2019, there were 40 million. And last year was like 38 million. Now, what does that tell you? You go from 7 million to almost 40 million. So a lot of people want to come here. Okay. Yeah, I never compare it to the US. I really don't like to compare anymore. I think Thailand is one of the best places to be. I think sometimes the people in the government, now it could be that I don't understand the way they do business. I don't know, but that's true. But sometimes they do things back asswards. I mean, really. And this is this kind of thing. What I always say is the government is kind of wishy-washy. They flip-flop. One day they're okay, yes. One day they're okay, no. We're not going to do this. Oh, yes, we are. And you're wondering what the hell. And it does not, honestly, I don't. And maybe they just think they have an endless supply of tourists. I don't really know, but they're flip-flopping, and they're things where they're talking. It's not really them, but it's also the media. Okay. They're talking about the taxation. Oh, yeah, you're going to be taxed. You're going to have to pay this. You're going to have to pay that. I know people, they just go, listen, if I got to pay taxes on this and I'm paying taxes back home, I'm out of here. And this is the thing. The Thai government may think they don't need the expats, but I guarantee you they do. And once the expats left, they would be more prone to say, oh, maybe we did this wrong. They wouldn't say they were wrong, but they'd say, oh, we're going to have this new plan for expats. That's what they would probably do. You fit in. You're still an outsider, Jim. I hate to tell you this. No matter what, you are an outsider. Thank you, Darth Son. You are an outsider. I mean, that's the bottom line. You will never be Thai. They don't consider you Thai. You may think they do, but guess what? They don't. Oh, yeah. How much does it cost to live in Thailand? It's $2,000. Come on, man. Most people know by now. If you've done any research on your own, you know $2,000 is enough for a single person. $2,000 is enough for a couple if you watch your money. You're not going to be living high on the hog. You're not going to be living like a king. And somebody said, oh, well, how can you rent if you want to be a king? Listen, I don't know how kings think because I'm not a king. But what I will say is that, to me, in some ways, renting is better than buying here. The lady driving my motorcycle today said, how come you haven't bought a house yet? I said, listen, we've thought about it numerous times. We're going to buy a 7 million baht house, I don't know, 6 months ago. We thought about it. And I told my wife, listen, I'm old. I don't want to be paying into this house until the day that I die. I don't want to be in debt. And I said, we're out there a ways. It's going to be a little more difficult for us. I'm going to be at home more often, which I'm not really opposed to that. But I just was like, and instead of paying 7,000 baht a month, which is what we pay like not even $200 a month. Well, we pay about $200 a month. We'd have to pay like 1,300. And I'm like, honey, you could take that money and just stash it. That's it. You don't have to worry about anything. And the thing is that if you're renting, you can come and go however you want, whenever you want. You just go, listen, I'm leaving. You might have to pay a little bit. You might have to give them your deposit or something like that. Big deal. You just go, I'm leaving. Okay, where are you going? Don't worry about it. I'm going somewhere. You don't have to tell anybody this. You leave, you go. Now, if you're buying, you got a house to get rid of. You probably have a house payment. So you can't just pick up and leave. Oh, I'm going to let my son sell the house. Okay, yeah, great. Fat chance. Yeah, maybe he could. Okay. Maybe a realtor could do it or whatever. You wouldn't be there, but I wouldn't want to do it that way. Not here. Many places were just as good as Thailand before 2000. I liked Russia, 1999. Well, I've been to Russia twice, and I really liked it. But I don't know that I'd want to live. Well, I went to Yekaterinburg once, which is out in the. It's a little bit. It's a big city, but it's a little bit out in the country. And I mean, I walked outside of the hotel, and all I saw was just a snowfield. For as far as I could see, just snow. And I was like, wow, this is cool. Very cool. But it was very, very cold there. That's another thing that I didn't really like. It was too damn cold. But it was a nice place. But it's a nice place where I visited. I liked the food. I liked the people. We got shown around. We got taken places by people that most people don't ever interact with. We were very lucky because, I was there for boxing. So we got the royal treatment. Let me see this here. What is this? Teddy, I live quite well. $2,000, including a truck payment, but I live in Isan, not an urban tourist area. Well, do you make a house payment, Jim? Yeah, well, that's you. It has nothing to do with your nationality in the United States. The best way to know how much money you will need is subtract 40% from the. Listen, everybody makes these claims. Oh, yeah, it's 50%. Oh, it's 60%. Oh, it's. No, the best way is to come here and start living how you want to live. See how much you spend. Keep track of your money. That's the best way. Jump TM, that's a nice place to move to. Okay, have at it, buddy. Have you been here before? Really, have you been here? Do you really know it's a great place? Because Jump TM is getting just like the city, Pattaya City. And personally, I wouldn't live there. That's just me. I wouldn't live there because it's not a place where I would really want to go swimming. And there's too many tourists. This is what people don't understand. Too many goddamn tourists. And I don't want to be in those places. And Pattaya, I know it's not Jomtien, but it might as well be. Pattaya, Phuket, and Krabi have been voted 3 of the most over touristy places in the world. Let me see if I can find that. Your wife owns the place. Okay. Let me see here. Okay. And what's so funny? Krabi is voted as one of the worst places now. It's so over touristed. And the thing is I don't know if you guys remember, but I went to Krabi. I've been there many times, but I went there during COVID. and there was almost nobody there. I had the island, there were people there, but it was like you'd go on the beach and there'd be like 5 people on the beach, and 3 of them were Thai. I went there and got plastered just sitting there looking out at the beach, and I was like, this is fantastic, but I wouldn't want to be there now. Why do I want to go there now? I mean, listen, Suratani, where we live, it sounds a lot better, but the ocean is not there, and that kind of bugs me. I just like seeing the ocean, knowing if I want, I can run out there, jump in, cool off, come back out. I can do that all day long if I want. Phuket, Pattaya, Krabi, Mugla, Turkey, Hurghada, Egypt, Macau, China, Heraklion, Greece, Venice, Italy, Rhodes, Greece, Miami, Florida. These are the top 10 over-touristed places. And the top is Phuket. One of the most beautiful destinations in Southeast Asia is the world's most overcrowded destination. This famous island's diverse culture, historic architecture, pristine beaches, and vibrant nightlife draw almost 10 million people a year. There's a mind-blowing 118.5 tourists for every inhabitant. Unfortunately, over-tourism dulls the shine of one of Asia's most serene tourist destinations. And, it tells about the infrastructure suffering because of all the people. There's also Pattaya. There's also Krabi. Wow. Let's see here. What is this? Let me see here. If you want to live a Western lifestyle here, it will cost more. Eating Western food every day will cost you. Definitely. I mean, I eat Thai food, but I might eat a Thai meal once every 2 days. I might have breakfast at my house. I got kaijio with, I throw a little musap in there. I throw some onions, a little pepper or something, throw that in it. Boom, I make myself a Thai meal. Or I just decide I want some khao soi or whatever it is. But I don't eat it every day. There's no way. In fact, I did it in the videos. I did it for a week. And I was so sick of Thai food. And, it's not a slam on Thai food because Thai food is one of my favorites. I know Italian I like a little bit better. Maybe Mexican, but I don't know. I got to think about it. The prices reflected being too touristy, $10 on average for a Western-style lunch. Yeah. I have the Cash App. Yes, I do. And the link is down below in the description. It's just $ an American in Bangkok. Teddy, have you been here before? Jomtien is so oversold by YouTubers. It really seems to be the place for outcasts that don't fit in anymore. Pattaya Jomtien is the lint trap of the world. Yes. And I rest my case. I mean, I try to go to places all the time that are not touristy. And, I went to Phnom. Scott, I've already answered this question to you. How old are you? I need to know that. How old are you? 59. Okay. How much is your pension? I mean, it's simple math, really. Then I get back to my script here, my notes. Get back to the subject at hand. Figure 8 million baht. Well, I don't. I already know he's 59. I don't know about you, Teddy, but um, if you have 8 million baht, that's a million baht a year uh, for 8 years, or it's 500,000 baht for 16 years. Now, the pension is key. $1,400. Okay, if you make $1,400, and then you've got the million, you've got the 8 million. Okay, you can live off the 1,400 and maybe just keep let that 8 million um, build up even more. Or you can keep 7 million and then you can just draw once in a while from a million, and then the 7 million will earn interest, and you've got the 1,400 a month. You can live very well, no problem. But I would say you want to keep that money, that bulk sum, for as long as possible. You don't want to run through that. You don't want to use it. Unless maybe you buy an inexpensive condo, maybe it's $50,000. You buy that in, it could be Pattaya, it could be Hua Hin, wherever you want to live. It's up to you. I wouldn't live in either of those places, but okay. Listen, I live in Bangkok, and for me, this is where I am now. But if you bought yourself a condo and you just had to pay the condo fees, then you only have to pay for food, electric, utilities, your cell phone, internet, things like that. And you can live a very good lifestyle on $1,400 a month. And then, whatever's left over from the bulk sum from the 8 million, if you spend $50,000, well, 50,000 is about 1 point whatever, 1.3, 1.3. You don't spend as much as you feel. What are you talking about? Jesus Christ, that's not good advice. That's terrible advice. Oh, you know what? I feel like going out and blowing a million baht on this chick tonight. Come on, man. Do the math. Take 6 million. What was it, that John Goodman movie? Well, it was John Goodman and Mark Wahlberg, I think. You take 6 million, you put it in the bank, that's your base. You got 2 million. You buy yourself a condo for 1.3. Now you got 700,000 left over. You put that in the bank. You got the 1,400 a month. You got 700,000 in the bank. Maybe you put 800,000 in the bank so that you qualify for the retirement. You have, some other money in there, and then you live off the interest and the $1,400. Yeah, well, what if he doesn't die at 79? Better to die with a little money in the bank and give it to your family than to not have enough and wonder what you're going to do. You always have the 1,400 coming in. If you always have that coming in, hey, you're golden, man. You don't even really need to touch that bulk sum. All right, that's enough. Okay, I don't want to talk about that anymore. We got it out of the way. I think you'll do just fine. Anyway, the honeymoon phase, we've already talked about that. No problem, no problem. Yeah, spend it all. Go ahead. The first thing you do is send me like 5 million. That's what you do. That way, you took care of me and everything's great. And you send another 2 million to the girl of your choice. And then you just live off the 1,400 and you have no money. I'm being facetious. Reality starts to creep in. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. We're not talking about this stuff today. I hate to tell you this. We're talking about what nobody tells you about expats here. You got guys like you don't come here and you don't know what you're going to do. If you had come here several times, like I've recommended, or you spent 3 months, 6 months, a year here, and you've started to learn of the, a little Sawati cop, Taurai cop, you're starting to learn a little basic Thai, and you see how the scene works, you would know that your money is fine. You would know exactly what to do. Who likes Bang Saray? Bang Saray is all right. What do you think of living half the year in Thailand and half the year in the US? Well, I don't want to live. No, you can't, but you can give it to your family, which is fine if you love your family. I wouldn't live in the United States. It's not going to happen. I would live somewhere else. Yeah, that's about as succinct as I can be. All right, so after you get over the hump, you get past the honeymoon phase, the reality check happens. And that is you start to see things as they really are, which I'm sure Jim is at that point by now. You may have money problems. You may have stress from your visa. You may want to work, but you have problems finding a job. You may have health concerns. So it may not be all that easy once you see, hey, this is such a great place, and then you go, oh, wait a minute, but I got to pay for this. Oh, do I have health insurance? Do I need health insurance? How much money do I have? You see, if you had 8 million baht, I don't think that's enough to say I'm not going to have health insurance, because one episode could wipe you out. The motorbike situation has disappeared. I don't even know what that means, Jim. You're losing me. I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, many come over here thinking they can live on a shoestring budget, and oh well, I'm only going to spend $800 every month. And listen, there are guys who do this. Oh yeah. Oh, it's disappeared. Okay, well that's good. You had a discussion with the what is it? Puban Puyaiban. Inflation, emergencies, different aspects of your lifestyle may start creeping in. And then all of a sudden you go, oh, well, I guess it's not as easy as I thought here. I have some things I have to think about. And you know what? That really happened to me, because I'll tell you why. When I came over here, I didn't have a business anymore. I didn't have customers calling me up going, hey, when am I going to get my job? Hey, I know you said you can have me have my job on Monday, but it's Thursday. You think you can get it to me by tonight? I didn't have these kind of things happening. So when I got here, I was like, I have nothing to worry about. I'm like, everything is perfect. I was, wow. But then once reality rears its ugly head, and you start going, wait a minute, if I spend, it's all about math. If you spend $1,000 a month for the whole year, that's $12,000, right? You spend $2,000 a month, that's $24,000. You spend three, it's 36, right? So if you only have $20,000 and you're spending $1,500 or $2,000 a month, oh well, there's going to be a time when I'm going to run out of money. What am I going to do? Oh, well, I'll get a job. And you get a job and it pays you dog shit. That happened to me. I started teaching English and I'm like, what? The most I ever made teaching English, I taught for 3 months. And then I went on and worked in my buddy's print shop. The most I ever made was 35,000 baht. Now this is a long time ago, but I made like 28,000 one month, and I think I made 30,000 the other month, and I made 35,000, and it sucked. I mean, I would go and teach from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and then I'd have a 3 o'clock class, teach from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So I had 3 hours in the middle. I couldn't just sit there at the school and just twiddle my thumbs. So I'd go back to my apartment, which meant I either took a bus, I took a taxi, I walked, and it was hot. And I'm dressed up in a long sleeve shirt with a tie. I hated it. No, I haven't yet. But I need to do that. I need to do that quickly because I really would like to find out, because there's some things I want to do. I wish I could do it. Well, maybe I should tell my kid to come over and bring me the camera, because I'd like that. Man, if I had it streaming tomorrow at Klong Tui, that'd be great. So yeah, tomorrow I'm going to Klong Tui. I've been saying I was going to go, and I guess I am now. So, and I just saw some guy. There's all kinds of people. Every once in a while, somebody pops up. Oh wow, look at this! I saw one guy. It's the most dangerous place in Thailand. I'm like, get the fuck out of here! The most dangerous place. God, I couldn't believe this guy said that. Anyway, you're going to have to prepare yourself for when reality creeps in. And you are one of the guys who goes, okay, I got some money, but this money isn't going to last forever. So what do I do? Wife and I were talking, and he rode by, and she couldn't hear me. I said, what's up with that asshole? Wife must have had a conversation, Puyai Bond, because it suddenly stopped. That's good. I'm on 100K a month budget. I've tried 30 to 50,000, but doesn't really give you freedom. 30 to 50,000. I mean, honestly, you really have to watch your money. I know our budget. If I told you guys our budget, you wouldn't believe it. And we save a lot. I mean, we're lucky like that. I mean, and it's not all my money. But I save money. She saves money. We save money together. And, why would you want to go there? You're 59 years old and you want to go to Pai? Are you trolling me? Seriously, you want to go to Pai? You're 59. That's the one place you bring up to go, Pai. Unbelievable. You go where you want to go, man. You want to go to Pai? Go ahead. Have fun. Listen, I don't need to be around these assholes. That really, who needs to be around those assholes causing problems up there? I get in trouble, because I'd smack one of them guys. Seriously, I'd probably smack the shit out of a couple of them. I'd be like, what are you doing? What are you doing, you idiot? And I don't ever want to get that way. I don't like being that way. I don't want to get nasty. Because I'm an old man. I'm a little old man. Anyway. All right, where are we at here? Segment 3, the loneliness and isolation factor. Making friends isn't as easy as it seems. Some long-term expats get stuck in a rut, meeting the same people over and over again. There is a difference between acquaintances and friendships, real friendships, and I know that. A lot of social circles are surface level, and I know that. Listen, I have a couple of friends, and I got to know them online, and also they've moved here. Jono is one, Billy's another, Carlos, Jack. There's a few people who I consider them my friend. I don't consider them a passerby, you know, some acquaintance. I have a lot of acquaintances. Guys, hey, how you doing? Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. Okay, take it easy. Gotta go. That's me. Oh, my God. What kind of question is this? People still want to, like, people still wants to go see the touristy site like I, too, if you've never been there. Dude, who are you talking to? You act like I'm an idiot. I understand that, but why would that be the one place that you would want to bring up? That's just stupid. The one place I want to go is Pi. Oh my God, I've got to go there. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, they're making a big deal about, I saw a guy the other day making a big deal about Massaud. And I'm like, why are you making a big deal about Massaud? There's not much going on there. You go into Miyawadi. Miyawadi is a pretty, you know, it's a very Burmese town. I've been there many times. And it's not a place where you're going to go, wow, this is such a great place. I can't believe I'm here. No, you go there and you have a bowl of soup or something like that. You have a little tea with the locals. And if they start bombing you, you go, oh, I guess it's time to get out of here. You better get out of there. But that's unlikely to happen. Now you're talking about the old expats sitting in the same bar day after day. Who's talking about that? That's not me. I don't hang out in bars. And I think if you hang out in a bar, listen, all these people who own bars here, most of them are losing money. The foreigners who own bars, most of them are losing money. All right, some of them make money, but a lot of them are losing money. Most of them go out of business. I wouldn't open a bar in Thailand if you paid me. If I used your money, I wouldn't open a bar. Now, as far as people sitting in the bar, I just tell this one story. And I think that puts it into perspective about how I feel about the drinking establishments and partying and all that. And I used to do it, but I wasn't an idiot. I didn't do stupid things when I got drunk. I was mellow. You understand? But there's one story I have. I went to Patio with he was my boss and one other guy. We went there because we had some business to discuss with somebody that was down there. So we go and we do our business and we're like, all right, we're done. And my boss says, listen, why don't we just stay here? I said, okay. We go out, we don't really drink, and you know, none of us drank. Once in a great while we would drink, and then we got out of control because we were drinking tequila and, you know, you name it, we would get plastered. But that didn't happen very often, maybe once or twice a year. But so we go to our rooms. I can't sleep. I go out on the balcony, I look down, and there's all the little bars. I don't know what soy it is, soy 8 or I can't remember. There's a swimming pool. When you look down, there was a swimming pool. I'm like, okay, great. Now it's maybe 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I try watching TV. I go outside, standing there going, you know, this is life. So I look down and there's this guy standing there. He's kind of staggering around. I could tell he was plastered. I'm like, oh, look at that drunk guy down there. I tell the story every once in a while, so forgive me if you've heard it. And all of a sudden, this motorcycle comes hauling ass up and screeches right next to him. And it's this girl. And you can tell she was a bar girl, the way she was dressed. She got tattoos all over her. She's a bar girl. And he's like, hey, yeah, you. I know you. You have man. You no good. Why you do this? You no love me. You lie to me. You lie me. She's like, no, honey, I only love you. Oh, and I just went, oh my God. I went, I hope this is never, ever me. It will never be me. It cannot be me. This guy was such an idiot. And I'm like, this is the kind of person that's here. I know it's not the majority of people in Pattaya, but I just saw it. Jesus Christ. This is where idiots come. And after that, I was like, I don't want to be that dummy. I'd rather be stone cold sober and be smart than be dealing with some people and just going, these people are idiots. I don't want to deal with idiots. All right. Now you're talking about okay, Scott Gene is a bunch of backpackers in elephant pants drinking shroom shakes. Do most expats hang out with bar girls? Where'd you come up with that question? All the expats that I know, let me think here. I know one expat who has a wife that he's been married to for a long time. He's a great guy. And the girl has been nothing but great to him. And I think she used to work in a bar. Other than that, all of my friends, they don't have girls that are bar girls. Now, some of them may go and frequent them and, get a little something on the side once in a while, but they don't hang out with them. Now, the idiots who live in like Pattaya, the idiots who are down in Lower Sukhumvit, who that's all they know is women who work in bars because they haven't been able to land any women that are regular women that want to be around them, or they're just too new and they don't speak any of the language, whatever it might be. But most guys do not hang out with bar girls. Okay, get that straight, man. That's really a stupid question. Well, Jim, I would be careful doing that. I mean, always understand that there's always a chance that, like I said, you will never be tied. So they accept you and they may do very well by you. I mean, I know a lot that have for me, but I would just be careful. Making friends are easy if you just put in the effort how to speak a local language. I friend with my landlord in Saigon. Listen, making friends for me is not easy. You know why? Because my friends have to be vetted. I need to make sure they're good people. I don't just make a friend in one day and go, okay, we're friends now. That's not what I do. And believe me, I speak the language here. And I speak a couple other languages, but I don't speak very well. Brandon, if you want to go broke, yeah. I mean, think about it. What is the job of a working girl? Working as in prostitute. Her job is to extract as much money as she can while giving you the GFE, the girlfriend experience. That's what her job is. Thank you, Joe. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's give Joe a like and a heart. There we go. Boom. Everywhere. What is this? Why are you asking him? Robert, where's a good place to visit in your opinion? Oh my God. Dude, just come to Bangkok first. That's a start. Okay? Do your research. You want to go where there's a lot of tourists? You want to go and get shit-faced all the time? What do you want? I mean, really, use your head. You're 59 years old. Well, I can't see you going out and just partying your ass off and being a loadie. I can't see that. So why would you hang out in those areas then? But even then, you should probably go to Phuket just because Phuket. Phuket, tourist area. Pattaya, tourist area. Krabi, tourist area. Chiang Mai, tourist area. Not as much as Phuket and Pattaya. There's so many places you can go. I mean, I've been to more places than you can even think of. When I don't want to go to drink either, I want to be sober. I hate alcoholic. What do you think is the average income of a retired expat? Oh my God, what does it fucking matter? Hey, Robert, do you live in Thailand? Oh my God. Those Farang and the YouTubers who advocate the bar lifestyle create a negative stereotype for the rest of us. Yeah, I would say so, pretty much. I happy to be vetted. Thanks, Joe. You have various levels of friendship. No, I don't. I don't have various levels. Okay. I have two kinds of people in my life, right? That's it. I have friends and I have acquaintances. My acquaintances can turn into friends, possibly. My friends are friends. I have very few friends. I probably have, but I have more than most people. I have friends in the United States that I've had for how many years? 45 years. I have some I've had for 30 years. My friends stay my friends. That's the thing. We're not here to answer your questions, Scott. If you want questions answered, ask me for a consultation. Okay, really. I'm not here to answer your questions about Colombia. I've been to Colombia. I've been to a lot of places. Still haven't been to Phuket. Well, you ain't missing nothing, Jim. Top 5 places you have visited in Thailand. All right, let's get back to my my segment here. Some long-term expats get stuck in a rut. The difference between acquaintances versus real friendships. Yeah, obviously, acquaintances are superficial. Dating challenges. I think the older you get, the more challenging it is because you're not going to get as many younger women going after you. And the older the woman is, the more baggage she has. And that baggage, it might be she has 2 kids. You know, she's got 2, 3 kids, and you're like, oh, but she's so beautiful. Do you really want a ready-made family? I think these guys are just fucking with me. Either that or they're stupid. What happens if you don't speak Thai? Can you truly integrate, or will you always feel like an outsider? Listen, I speak Thai, and I read Thai. And while it's nice that they go, oh, so good. Anytime a girl sees that I read Thai, they clap, oh, so good. But guess what? That doesn't mean much. It's nice, but it doesn't mean that I'm a Thai. But how do you know that if you haven't been there? All right. What about the expats who get stuck? Why some expats never leave, even if they should? And there are a lot of those kind of guys. I know one guy in particular that he keeps coming back here. And he is, how can I say it in a nice way? He's the biggest chowderhead I think I've ever seen. He's an idiot. Complete idiot. And I think that people probably watch him because he is an idiot and they want to see him fuck up. But he comes here and then he's stuck. He's making next to nothing. And I don't know if he gets money from back home or what it is. I have no idea. But then, all of a sudden you'll end up in the Midwest somewhere and you're like, what the fuck? A lot of people get caught up in the cheap living trap. Some start cutting corners just to stay in Thailand, and they may start to lead a lower quality of life. Some have substance abuse problems. It's one thing to go out every once in a while and have a drink. It's another, you go out and once in a great while you get plastered. I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes you need to let a little steam off. I know some people who don't drink a drop, you know, maybe 3, 4 nights ago, I had a glass and a half, maybe 2 glasses of wine. Wow. And that's, that's about it. But you got to be careful, because if you get into trouble here with any kind of substances, you run the risk of going to jail, and you don't want to go to jail. I've been in their jails. I've been in their prisons as a journalist, and you don't want to go into those places. Let's just say that your lifestyle would be markedly different in a prison than it would be outside. You think it's bad in the US? Yeah, it's bad. It's bad in the prisons. There's a difference between choosing to stay and having to stay. Now, I would say I'm kind of in the middle, because I do like it here. I may bitch and moan about some of the problems. And I'm not really forced to stay here, but I have a family, and, I have to think about what's the best for the family, not for me. I'm not thinking only about me. If I was single, it'd be me, 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 but I'm not. So I have to think about my kids. And hello, what the cup? What the? Let's see here. Oh, and also, the problem with substance abuse and any other kind of abuse, really, if you just go too far with any of these things, what can happen is, like you're isolated. Maybe you've got like 3 friends, and all of them are busy. They're all gone. They're going somewhere, and you're all alone. What happens? You start to get depressed. Then your mental state is suffering. And, for some people, they wouldn't think of calling somebody, like, calling an organization or something like that. And, so they're stuck, truly stuck. All right. The next segment is Expats Who Thrive. Let me read some of these messages, because I'm getting some satisfaction out of these messages too. Hang on a second here. Where was I? Is dating good in pie? You know what? Dating is as good as you make it wherever you are. Even now, if I wanted to, I know I would not be alone for all that long. I would be alone for a while, because I'm married. Obviously, I'm married. If something happened, I got a divorce, I died. Well, not if I died, but my wife died or something like that. There would be a grieving process. And then after that, I would be able to find a woman. Now, she's not going to be a 21-year-old woman who, she hasn't ever got laid. She doesn't have any kids. She's so sweet. She just loves me. That's not going to happen. It's just not. Maybe I'll get a girl who's 40 or 50. I can't see over 50, but 40 or 50, right? Those women have kids. Then you got to meet the approval of the kids. And what if they're younger? What if they're young kids? They're like 8 years old, 6 years old. And they're like, who's this guy coming into my life? Man, I don't like him. Oh, God. Now, what is this here? Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. The guys who are wearing the elephant pants and, doing the whole backpacker thing, and, well, yeah, they're young guys. And if there's young girls here, it doesn't matter where they're from. You see, listen, when I was 21 years old, I mean, every opportunity I had, I was going after women. And you can be, I'm in town for one night, and then I've got to go back home. And the girl's like, oh, really? You want to go do something tonight? Yeah, okay. Next thing you know, you're both trashed. and you're over at her house playing with her panties. You know, I mean, this kind of shit happens. So I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying if you're dealing with Thai women, unless you are extremely debonair and handsome, it might take you a little while to, to find something good. And most of them are not going to go, you know what? You're so handsome, and all I just want a good pounding. Can you get the job done for me? That's not what they're saying. You know, obviously that's in the equation at some point, but that's not what they're saying. Anyway, let me just keep going here. I got all kinds of problems. Oh, what the hell's going on here? Oh, well, here we go. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with my there we go. All right, now we're back. Jesus Christ, man. There are pros and cons everywhere. There is no real utopia, always a compromise to a certain extent. Do you cook at home? What kind of oil do you use for cooking? What are you? A detective? And the bun-headed elephant pant wearing guys greet everyone with namaste. Yeah, I don't get along with those guys. I mean, I just don't say anything. That's pretty much it. And if they want to talk to me, then I kind of like, I don't care what they think about me. I really don't. This is my home. It's not your home. You're passing through, buddy. I don't care what you think. It really doesn't matter to me. Our thoughts might align. We may think the same way, or we may not. And if we don't, oh well. Martha Stewart. Who was it that I saw that banged Martha Stewart? I can't remember, but it was surprising. I was very surprised. All right, here we go. Now we're getting all these coming through. Yeah, I know it is. I don't think it was Snoop Dogg. Okay, so what would you like me to do, Darth Son? You're watching my show. Hopefully that'll put you to sleep. Coming over March 10th for holiday. Visit Pattaya and Pai and Chiang Rai. God, I can only imagine. Have fun in Pai, all right? And I'm curious to know why you picked Chiang Rai over Chiang Mai. All right, let's get back to it. Hey, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. You know why? Because there have been something like 52 or something like that people watching, and there's only 20 thumbs up. To me, that's a little disturbing. It would be nice if you guys would just do that. Doesn't cost you anything. Does not cost a thing. What do other retirees do to beat jet lag when you have all the time to fall asleep? Jesus Christ. How the fuck do I know? Seriously. I don't have that problem with jet lag. I have no problem. I can sleep sitting up. I come home. If I want to go take a nap. You're asking me, really. I know to you they're not stupid questions, but to me they are. Well, how do I get to sleep when I got jet lag? Have sex with a girl. Have sex with her multiple times, and then hopefully you'll get tired. Jesus criminy. All right. I don't know who the hell you're talking about, bulldogs. This chat is weird today. It's a strange chat. Jim, I'm sure you, looking at this chat, you've got the chance to think to yourself, this is a weird one. Okay, so what do successful expats do differently? They plan their finances. They have at least a loose budget in their head. Very importantly, they keep an open mind. And guess what? A lot of them actually learn some of the language. My friend in Cambodia, he speaks Thai. Even Jono is learning to speak Thai. And now he's getting a little more into it. I speak Thai. Somebody wrote me the other day, so how come you don't speak Thai and you've been there for 30 years? I said, who said I don't speak Thai? Really? Have you ever seen me when I go out and I talk to people in Thai? I have no problem talking to them. I don't know if it's trolling or just stupidity. I don't know. Sometimes I think, there's a cross between stupidity and trolling. I think the trollers are stupid, and I think the stupid inadvertently troll. What do I care about your rugby team in wherever the hell it is? Seriously, why do I care about that, dude? What do I care about the rugby? Oh, yeah. You know what I care about? The only sports I care about here are boxing, MMA, and to a lesser extent now, Muay Thai. That's it. I don't care about all this other stuff. It doesn't matter to me. It's not important. And I like surfing. Although I'm not very good, but, Anyway. Jesus Christ. It's very weird today. And, when you want to succeed here, adapting, blending in is key. And you don't try to make your place here like home. You try to make it like your place here. You're in Thailand, baby. You're not back in the U.S. Nobody cares about the U.S. Nobody gives a damn about the U.S. The Thais don't care. They care a little bit. They just care, oh, what's going on over there? That's about it. I got to read these because I just, it's just too much, man. Well, if you fought him, you might know his last name. That's not how you spell it. Butterbean's in bad shape now. He's been in bad shape for a while. But no, I wasn't Butterbean. I was a lot skinnier back then. It's funny because I know Ramon's father, his stepfather. I know him pretty well. I don't know what's going on with my computer. Big problem. Give me a second here. Unbelievable. Well, thankfully, no bathroom humor. That's about the lowest you can go. No, it's the internet, man. That's exactly what it is. It's I was using Wi-Fi. Now I'm going to the 5G. Let me see something here. Aisha, how you doing? Um, I would say probably, but you know what? There are a lot of people that they work here. They work here legally. They work here illegally. Whatever it is. Um, but yeah, I would say so. Pretty much every day she walks by. I don't know why this is not working. Let's see here. I don't know what you mean by that. What's a possum? Opossum. What is that? You mean opium? God, dude, uh, I don't even know what to say to you. I don't know what he meant. I have no idea. What is this here? Most of the sports bars don't even play the pre-recorded NFL games like they do the pre-recorded. Dude, you know nothing, man. Really, it's so easy to get all the games. Man, thank you very much, Robert. You're gonna go to Songkran in April. Okay, good. This chat is it needs a new solid state. You happy man? Laugh at my Amex comment. Yeah. I'm not even answering that question. That's such a stupid question, dude. Who cares? Who cares? We're not talking about that here, okay? We have nothing to talk about when it comes to possums. It's not opossum, it's possum. Jesus Christ. Opossum. All right, whatever. We call them possums where I come from. Yeah, that's what we call them, possums. Where I come from, they call them possums. We don't call them opossums. No, we can't. I wonder if they're burning stupid expats that come into the country or stupid tourists. I mean, ugh, God, you have really, dude. Obviously, you really don't know much. It's so easy to go watch a game in a sports bar or a restaurant here. Ugh. How there, friends and neighbors. I'm cooking me up some possum. I hope y'all like it. Ugh. They want possum. Um, Also, if you're an expat and you're living here, you need to have some kind of a purpose. You need to be doing something. You need to be doing something that's going to keep you busy. And I don't mean watching sports. That's a spectator thing. Anyway, I would like to know, I guess, from some of you, What's your experience here? Have you had your own set of struggles, or have you thrived here? Do you know people who are thriving? Do you know people who are living well? And if you're moving here, what is your biggest concern? Please answer in the chat. I would really love to hear that these things. Sorta. Well, what are you supposed to do about it? Some of them play at 6 o'clock in the morning. Some of them play at 8 o'clock. Some play at 9 o'clock. Ugh. And you can always just get a Fire Stick. I mean, what? You can watch it at your house. You got to go into a bar. Oh my God, I've got to go into the bar to watch the football game. Oh, fuck. Really? You're probably still in that honeymoon phase, man. Because you definitely ain't an expat, like an expat who's been here for a while, who knows the ropes, who doesn't give a shit about anything else. Oh, you have to be careful with girly bars and your money. Really? I think most of my people in this chat, the guys who've been in the stream for a long time, they already know that. Jesus criminy. Oh my God, it's unbelievable. Hey, what's Scott's #1 rule for men coming to Thailand? What is the #1 rule? Do not get emotionally involved with a bar girl. What is the #2 rule? The man with the gold makes the rules. Another rule. You want to go out with them one time? Fine. Maybe they were really good. Okay, have them a second time. After that, that's it. No more. That's another one. Don't be a chowderhead. You know, don't get into a relationship with a chick in a bar. What is her job? Making money. How does she make money? From you. I know this is real difficult stuff. You got to be a rocket scientist to understand it. But is anybody else laughing? All right. So, I asked all these questions. It doesn't seem like anybody's answering. And people always compare Thailand to other places. The US, Vietnam, Cambodia, the Philippines, Laos, Indonesia. And some people, they just go from country to country and they think, oh, it's going to be good here. And maybe it's good 1 or 2 times. And then after a while, they're like, yeah, this place is all right. And then they go somewhere else and they go, yeah, it's all right. They never are truly happy. I mean, listen, I have my times here when I go, Jesus Christ, why do I have to deal with these idiots? Yesterday I get onto the motorcycle again. It was one of those bikes again that, little tiny tires, and every bump you go over, you feel it. And, I'm thinking to myself, this is exactly why I need a motorcycle of my own. And I just thought about it and I thought, you know what? The next time this guy comes, I'm going to tell him, I don't want to go with you. I'm going to go with somebody else. And that happened today. And I told him, no. I don't like your motorbike. It's a piece of shit. So I called the girl from down the street who was sitting there with her other motorbike drivers, and she came. And I was like, all right, she's cool. No problem. No problem. Now, the other thing is, are these other countries really better, or are they just different? It's like hopping from one frying pan to another. You're chasing the fantasy. You're chasing the dream. Oh my God, Myanmar is the best place ever. Really? Okay. I've been here 4 months and now my diary is full between exercise and social. Okay, well, my diary is full because I have my set routine, which I like, and which most of the time it doesn't get disturbed. And this is why I don't usually meet with people, because I got my own routine. If they want to come to me, okay, maybe I can squeeze you in. Maybe we got time. But you know what? I'm not going to go drive, an hour away, hour and a half away, and go somewhere else. Oh, so I can go meet you. Oh, I'm so happy to meet you. Listen, it's not that I'm not happy to meet you or anything like that. It's my time. I don't want to spend my time doing shit that, to me, I don't know what it's going to be like. You know, I like knowing, hey, this is how I want things. Beautiful. Everything's golden. Not, oh, well, I'm going to have to go to wherever. It's going to take me an hour and a half to get there in traffic, an hour and a half to get back. And then, sometimes you meet people and you just go, you know, if you were back home, you would never hang out with this person. That happens all the time. I've met all kinds of people from this channel: lawyers, doctors, chiropractors, businessmen. I've met all kinds, man. You have to be realistic too. If you're in your 50s and you want to be involved with a local girl who is half your age, it will be a financial agreement, mostly, no matter how much she says she loves you. Okay, Brandon, or Darth, I'll take your word for it. Now you're the expert. 3 weeks is enough to visit Thailand. Yeah, I think so. And I don't know where Dowlo is. He'll probably come in at the end of the stream. He'll be on for 5 minutes. I don't know. But, Dowlo is one of these people who come over here part-time. They're here. He's got a house with his wife. He has a good little time. And then he goes back to Australia. I'm enjoying living among the rural Thais, living with my Thai wife and just relaxing, except when I'm a passenger on the congested roads. Well, I like living out in the country. I think it's great. Um, I've done it, for months on end, but, I live here and we have a lot of shit going on. A lot more than you people know. There's always stuff going on, and that's fine. And, there's little phases in your life you go through. Some people have already gone through, they've got kids, the kids are out of the house, they're grown, and then they move over here. I moved over here when I was young, fairly young, so it's a big difference. Alex has gone to the doctor, and the doctor took the bands out of his mouth, gave him different bands that are not as strong, and now he can open his mouth a little bit and speak, and he can eat things like yogurt milk, uh, thick protein shakes, soup, uh, eggs. So he's a little better off, but he's got to go back next week. I don't know what's going to happen. Then he's also got to go to the dentist. So he should be okay. But now he's happy because he can open his mouth a little bit and he can brush his teeth. Because before it was hard to brush his teeth. And we got him a water pick, water flosser, which just wait, what was he eating before? He couldn't drink protein shakes. He couldn't have thick protein shakes. He could have the protein shakes that you get in the grocery store that are they're a liquid, but they're not very thick. Now he can have the thicker one. So he can have thicker shakes, and I'm giving him the one. I mean, the protein. It's like it's an insane amount of protein and calories. It's like 1,400 calories for one scoop. It's huge. So I give him that, and he didn't really lose that much weight. He lost about 4 or 5 kilos. Now he's going to be gaining it back. When I come to Thailand, my first stop, Bangkok. Should I 3 days? Not a straw. You can't really use a straw. A straw is not really flexible enough. You had to use a stomach tube connected to a big syringe. You get a stomach tube. You get a big syringe. I think it's 50 milliliters. We get the shake. You pour the shake into the glass. Oh, I got to sneeze. Wow. Oh, man. Whew, thank you. That was only 6. Usually it's like 7 or 8. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the protein. Yeah. I mean, he couldn't even really have a yogurt before. He couldn't. It's just because his mouth was closed. Thank you. Because his mouth was closed, he couldn't do it. So now his mouth is open. He has to take off the bands every time he eats and then put them back on, which is a pain in the ass. And he's like, oh, this hurts. You guys can go to Pi, okay? Have at it. Go to Pi. Enjoy yourself. It's definitely not my scene, man. I mean, I would go through there. I'd go to Nan. There's a couple places I would go in that region. But you guys have at it, okay? Coming to Thailand or anywhere else, you need to decide where your interests are. If you're coming as a sexpat, go to Pattaya. If you like real culture, don't go there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why anybody chooses to go to Pattaya other than maybe the low cost of living and the women. That's it. To me, I wouldn't go there because what do you want to go in the water for? The water is filthy. We already know that human waste goes in the water. And I know that, fish shit in the water and, all that kind of stuff. But that's a little too much for me. So I don't go there, and that's not what I do. It's not my scene, man. Really. And I've been there many times. I go there with I went there with Carnivore Chronicles and Jono and Billy, and we hang out. We have a great time. But that's because we're not focused on the women. And we go there, and then every once in a while, we'll be sitting there, and some sweaty, fat, overweight, old expat will go by, and he's holding the hand of some little tiny 18-year-old, and he's like 70, and he's hairy, and he stinks, and I'm going, oh my God, do I need to see this? I'm living in a different dimension. Now it has great Western food. It's had great Western food for years. Listen, I've been going to Pattaya for 30 years. But you could go a lot of other places that are much better. And when I hear people going, oh man, I'm going to go to Hue Hin, I'm going to go, you know what? You really don't know much. You think you know a lot. There he is. You see, I told you he'd come in at the very end. You think you know a lot. Oh, I'm going to go to Hua Hin. It's fantastic there. No, it's not. If you knew what it was like before, you'd go, wow, that was fantastic. Now it's a tourist trap. And the problem is in Thailand, this is what I say, and I know some people may disagree. Much of Thailand is a tourist trap. Much of Thailand is that way. Wherever you go, you know, hey, Dowlo. I mean, my wife just got back from Phuket. She asked me if I wanted to go. You know what I said? No, I don't. I lived there for a year. I've been there, I don't know, 15 times, 20 times. I don't want to go there. It's not that great to me. I'm not excited by it. Now, when I went to Canom, I was excited. Now, when I left, I went, okay, this place might be a good place to chill out, stay for a few months, maybe even longer. It might be the place. And you know what? Now I see all these videos of Canom going up. Everybody's going there. I don't know if it was because of me or because more people started making videos of Canom and Sichon. I don't know, but I won't be. I don't think I'll be going there for a little while. I know Pai is beautiful. We already know that it's a beautiful place. That region is very nice. There are a lot of beautiful cities up there, but I don't want to deal with the element there. I just don't. Anywhere that there's people that are, first of all, that are fighting, anywhere there's going to be problems because, there's too many people or whatever, I just don't want to be there. There's too many other places in the world you can go. Did you ever think you don't have to be in Thailand all the time? You know, I went to Nepal, completely different from Thailand. I was like, wow, this place is fantastic. Awesome place. Right? Now, supposedly, I'll go to Tibet. Wow. Completely different. Gets me out of here. Right? I don't have to deal with this shit like in Pi. What on earth do I want to go there for? Oh, I'm going to get to see the real Thailand. I've seen the real Thailand a million times over. By bun-headed backpackers is not on my bucket list. Yeah, and it's funny that you say that because that's pretty much what they are. Remember when I started taking the train? I took the train from Bangkok to, what was it? Was it Chiang Mai? I took the train. And you remember that on one leg of the train, I had the French guy who wasn't wearing any shoes. And he stunk. And his feet stunk. And he was sitting next to a Thai girl. The Thai girl came in. And he's sitting there with his feet up on the bench. And I'm going, I wanted to walk over and smack the guy because he's an idiot. Oh, I'll just put my feet up here and hang out, stink the place up. And the girl came, she sat down next to me, she goes, huh. She was like, ugh. Guy was such a stinky bastard. I'll never forget that guy. And he was a bun-headed, one of your bun-headed backpackers with no shoes. No shoes. Why are you going to walk around on a train with no shoes? Especially Thai trains. Thai trains are not fantastic trains. They're not the best. They're not great. They're not super clean. Oh, you could eat maple walnut ice cream off of the bathroom floor. No, that's not how it is. Jesus Christ. Anyway, all right, well. Oh, really? I don't know about that. Listen, the only thing that I would do is maybe loosen up my, if I got shoes on and I tie in shoestrings, or if I have sandals, I just pull my feet out a little bit to let them breathe, and then that would be it. Yes. Well, we already know that, but the thing is that when you're walking around on the floor of the train, the floor is very, very dirty. And then you go into the bathroom and there's water splashing all around on the floor, and it's dirty and it stinks. And then it's just basically you shit in a hole and the shit goes onto the train tracks. So, have at it. I have never shit on a train or a plane, ever. I hold it. And that's the truth. Listen, there was a time I didn't shit for 5 days. 5 days I didn't shit. That was when I had my leg surgery because I was scared to have to shit right after my hip surgery. And I couldn't sit on the toilet. So I had to wait until I was able to move around. And when I finally did, I sat down on the toilet with my right leg out straight and did my business that way. No fun. Anyway. Oh, what a wonderful world we live in. Is Thailand a great place for expats in 2025 and beyond? I think you better think long and hard if you want to move here. There are alternatives to living here. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Rising prices, visa changes, and the impact on retirees and the digital nomads. Thailand is shifting the government policies to foreign investment and long-term residency options. Although, if you're able to get everything done and you've got it down like I do, it's pretty easy. Everything's pretty simple. Now, with the new banking thing that they have implemented, which is not right now is not anything. It's not a law yet. It's not a legal policy. It's just them saying to the banks, you better watch yourself when you try to open new accounts. And thus, most people are not able to open new accounts, even if you are a retiree. Well, that's a big thing. And as I was saying yesterday, the visual on that is not good. So, what do you think? Do you think Thailand is still a top destination? You think it's worth it? Or is it for better? Is it better for people like me, who I'm already here? I ain't worried about nothing. Not at all. Vietnam has good infrastructure in urban areas and poor infrastructure. Well, it's kind of like Bangkok. Their train that runs down the coast is fantastic. Better than Thai trains. I can say that. I would say it's a cut above the Thai trains. Joe Ford, where's Joe Ford? I haven't seen Joe Ford. Oh, there he is. Dowlo. Oh. The best thing in Pattaya for me is the food options. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Hey, man, you want a breakfast and you don't want to spend much money? The Hungry Hippo. You want some Western food? You can find all kinds of Western food. Yeah, you go to Burma, okay? Go ahead. Go over there. I checked it out before they had their problems that they have now. And back then, it was like nobody wants to live there. They don't want to live there. The reason they don't want to live there is because, listen, their infrastructure sucks. It's terrible. Thailand has a PTT every 30 kilometers. Great travel stop with clean stress. Yeah, whatever. Now, everybody's saying that Da Nang is the best spot. Oh, my God. I don't know, but it's the best, man. There's a lot of islands in Thailand that blow that place away. Now, for living there, I don't know. But as far as straight up destinations, there are a lot of places in Thailand that smoke Da Nang. Alpharetta and Jim. Oh, that's funny. Unbelievable. Listen, I knew a guy who was going to move to Nha Trang, and he said they kept trying to rip him off. They kept trying to rip him off uh, for his apartment. He's like, they're asking me for $500 or $600. He's like, I'm in Ho Chi Minh, and I got a great apartment for $300. He's like, they're full of shit. And so he kept trying and trying, and he goes, I'm just going to go somewhere else because he don't want to pay that kind of money. Okay, Brandon, you go to Pi. Have a good time. We'll see you there. Why don't you go live in Khao San Road, okay? Have a good time there. Khao San Road is not even the same as it used to be. Listen, there's a lot of, I've been to a lot of places in Southeast Asia, probably a lot more than what anybody in this stream have gone to. And what I can tell you is there are good places everywhere. There are great places everywhere. Now, if you think to yourself, where do I want to live? And you've got to have a list you have a checklist of everything you want. It's hard to find any one place that's going to meet all the requirements. And that's what Thailand is pretty good. No, I haven't been to Phuket. It's one place I haven't been, but I think my friend just went there. Well, he went there last month, and now he's in Malaysia. So anyway, plenty of places to go. And for all that you can say about places, for all the good and the bad and all this other kind of stuff, I mean, it is what you make it. I mean, if I want Thailand to be a shithole, I'll look at it and it'll be a shithole. I can walk down the street, look at the canal. I mean, I do it all the time. I'm walking down the street, I see the canal, and I go, what the hell? They need to clean this canal up. Or I go out, I go right down the street, and I live in a pretty, I don't want to call it affluent, but it's a middle-income neighborhood, and it's quite nice. Where the Thais they have real houses, they have cars, they have 2 cars, they have big screen TVs, they have everything that you want at least in the West, what Westerners want. They have all those things. So, I don't know what's really wrong other than the government, It's the government that tends to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Anyway. Hands up if you've taken a sleeper bus to Vietnam. Thanks, Dowlo. Dude, you've been coming to Thailand for 25 years and you don't know the answer to that fucking question? Silly Pawn. It's a nickname. Pawn Suwon. If Thailand was not viable, I probably wouldn't live in Asia, to be honest. Probably live in Ecuador or Portugal. Wife saw a video of Phuket and has been hounding me. Oh, you're the one who, yeah, I remember about that. Seen other videos that don't show it nearly as appealing. Listen, I went to Halong Bay, and what I got from Halong Bay is it's a place that is full of tourists. It's not like I went there and I went, oh my God. Now it's a beautiful place, but all I saw was tourists all around me. And I'm just thinking to myself, this sucks. As soon as I saw all the tourists, I went, oh my God, what am I doing here? And they stopped on before we got to wherever it was. I don't remember where it was. We were like halfway there. They stopped and we had to go into this place where they were selling pearls. I don't remember the name of it. Everybody walked around. You were there for like an hour. They got food. They're selling food. They're selling all kinds of stuff. But they're selling pearls. So what it is they stopped so that you could go to the pearl shop and they can make money. And I'm thinking, I don't want any fucking pearls. Get me to where I want to go. I don't need to go anywhere else. What did I pay for? Ridiculous. I never liked Pat Pong. Porn tip. Named after Dr. Death. I have a feeling some guys in the chat dated Lang Duck Dong in Thailand. Oh, God. What a weird stream this has been. Weird, weird, weird. What's going on here? Halong City. It is one of the most beautiful cities. Okay, if you say so. I've seen the guys that live on $800 a month. It's a miserable existence. If they're living out in the country, I don't know that I would call it miserable, but I would say they are definitely tight with their money. They have to be. Venice was full of tourists and some were aggressive. It was go there and good to leave. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I don't want to be pressured by anybody. Listen, I walked out of I was in Krabi. This is many years ago. Alex was a little kid. He had never been to Burger King. I decided to take him to Burger King. I take him to Burger King. We have our burgers. He's so happy. We walk out. There's a guy there. He's a tout. Hey, mister, you go here, you go there. What you do? And I just go, no, thank you. I just kept walking. He's like, hey, mister. And I just thought to myself, I told this guy no. I didn't say anything. I kept. He's like, hey, I'm talking to you. And I go, I know you're talking to me, and I don't want to talk to you. What is it you don't understand? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? You got some guy like this. Crazy, man. Crazy. Well, you get by on $800 a month, okay? Go ahead. Be my guest. You be my guest, man. Go ahead. Now, I just put up a video. I think it was this morning, right? I put up a video. It said, I got by on $500 a month, and I saved $500 a month. I had $1,000 a month. And what is this? Jesus Christ. Yeah. So 5 of 10. Oof. Lived on 500, saved 500. I had $1,000. This is back 30 years ago, 29 years ago, or 28, something like that. And I was living in the Bangkok. I was living in Udon Thani, out in the village, and I spent $500 a month, and that was mainly on food, the electric bill, which was like 500 baht or something. Eventually, I got cable, which was about 1,000 a month, and I saved $500 a month. And I thought, oh, this is great. It's fantastic. I was like, oh wow. But you know what? You're not going to get as much for your money now as you did back then. So everybody's talking about pie. You guys have at it. Go to pie. Okay? Have fun. That's all I can say. Have fun. Go, go, go. I'd never live in Thailand like the Thais in the country. I couldn't have a very comfortable life. No, you wouldn't. All right. Now, thank you very much. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate it. Good stream. Good little stream. A bit weird. But I think that's it. That's it for today. We're all done. So, expat life in Thailand isn't all sunshine and wonderful street food. But if you know what to expect and you can avoid the common traps, you can thrive here. And if you're stupid enough to go to pie and think it's like American pie, oh, it's apple pie, well then have at it. That's your little area. You have that place in utopia, and you just keep doing what you're doing. If you found this video useful, hit the like button, subscribe if you have not done so already. Turn on the notifications with the notification bell so you don't miss the next stream, the next video. And tomorrow I will be streaming from Klong Tui. Okay, thank you very much. And as always, choke the jerk and my take care.